I want to start off the podcast real quick by saying, if you're excited for this character, I'm very happy for you. To Sakurai, I have no ill will towards you whatsoever. It was not your decision.
Was it
So
not?
it was confirmed that Nintendo made all of these decisions. Sakurai said that pretty much when they announced the Fighter Pass, that all of the characters were chosen and they were not chosen by him. Nintendo picked them out. That being said, I'm unhappy about this. I'm not excited about this, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be one of those whiny internet trolls who attacks Nintendo or Sakurai for a character that I don't care for. I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't care about Banjo. I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't care about Joker. It's one of these things where not everybody's going to be happy. There's going to be a day, and I think it's going to be soon. There's going to be a day that Minecraft Steve is going to get announced for Smash. I think it's going to happen in the next 6 characters. I truly do. And that day, I'm not going to be happy. But I'm going to be very happy for all of the people that are happy. It's just not my cup of tea. So that being said, good for Fire Emblem fans. If you're a fan of Three Houses and this character, I'm very happy for you. There are certain mechanics of this character that I think are amazing. The weapons stuff with this character is really neat. But that being said, we're gonna rip on this decision pretty darn good tonight. I think. I just wanted to preface everything with that.
Everything that you said is my shared sentiment. And at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's disappointed about the inclusion of a character. They're disappointed about the lack of inclusion of a character they would have preferred.
Yes.
So like there's 80 plus characters in the game. I don't know. I lost count. There's a lot of characters in this game. Every dream character that I ever hoped would be in is in. So everybody from now on for me is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about every character that gets included, whether or not they're a character that I'm ever going to play or have any particular appeal towards me personally. But there's no denying, and Nintendo even knew it, that this was the least hype, least exciting character that they could ever possibly put into the game because it is a grossly overrepresented franchise, and adding another one in just doesn't really do anything to bolster the overall appeal of the game.
Yeah. There's one thing that my biggest gripe with this character, and if you followed this podcast from pretty much the moment we started talking about DLC, the biggest thing that I've said has been that for a Smash fighter to get in, and at least what I thought, they had to pay their dues. You don't see characters like Shovel Knight or Shantae or some incredibly popular indie game reps in this game, in my opinion, because they are relatively new, and Smash is generally a game for classic or at least characters who have been around for a long time, characters who've earned their invitation to Smash. They confirmed that they recorded this video from Thursday in November, 1 month after Three Houses came out. These fighters were in development during the same time, I'm guessing, that Three Houses was in development.
Yeah,
these characters have not,
be true.
In my opinion, these characters have not earned their place in Smash.
Yes, but you know that historically, going back to Melee, and no, going back to the first Fire Emblem, not Fire Emblem, Smash on 64, Fire Emblem characters are the exception to that rule.
I will give it to you that they had in Melee, they had Roy, right? Roy was the rep?
Roy was the rep in Melee. Marth was in it also. That was his debut in Smash. But Sakurai was trying to get Marth into the original one, and then Marth did get into Melee, and Nintendo wanted the more current one, so they put in Roy, who was still in development at the time. So the Roy in the game doesn't even really reflect the Roy from his own game from a style standpoint, because Sakurai was working with a character that was not fully fleshed out yet.
Yeah.
And then it happened again with
Corrin.
Corrin.
Yeah.
Corrin is like the most famous example.
Part of me is wondering if I might have a double standard on this, because there are reps from many Pokemon genres, and Incineroar was one of these characters who hasn't been around all that long. One major Pokemon game, obviously. And we didn't see the hate from Incineroar getting announced compared to this. I think some people were upset about Incineroar. I didn't care about Incineroar at all. Like, it was one of those characters where I'm like, oh, cool, I guess we have Incineroar. I'll grab the Amiibo. Part of me feels like maybe that's the same kind of thing happening here.
It is the same kind of thing. We talked about that in our Smash Switch speculation series while they were still revealing all the details of the game, about how we both felt like Pokemon was too overrepresented also.
Yeah.
And that needed to be stripped down a little bit. Obviously, that's not the way they went, because that was before we knew about Everyone Is Here, which is awesome and super exciting, but it meant that there's a lot of Pokemon characters in here. And I think that the only thing that Smash needs less than a Fire Emblem character is a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm in the same
boat. I'm very much in the same boat. I'm happy they brought Pokemon Trainer back. I think that was a great decision.
Same.
But that being said, yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. And part of me is like, this was closing out a 5-pack. I feel like this would have been a better option for the second, the third, or the fourth, but the last one, right?
I was thinking about that a lot, and now I fully understand it. It was absolutely the best person to put in the 5th spot, because at this point, they know this is not going to sell the Fighter's Pass. You put what is going to get people to buy in up front.
Yeah.
So they literally went in order of what they thought would entice people to buy the Fighter's Pass. That was their exact order. Terry was 4th. That wasn't an accident. Terry's not going to be pushing any units. And Banjo is a lesser-known, unutilized property. He has his audience.
Yeah.
But he's fan service. He is not somebody who's going to be getting people to come. Oh yeah, this cool character that I just saw a cartoon of. I just played his game.
I disagree.
People who are you have to know about Banjo in advance.
I think a lot of people know about Banjo.
Yeah, in the gaming circles.
Yeah, for sure.
Of a certain age. But then you look at Hero, very little known in the West.
Yeah.
Becoming increasingly known since the game did so well out here. And then they started off with Joker, who is the most shocking of all of them to be included.
Yeah.
And that really set the tone. And it really subverted expectations. People thought, anything's possible.
Yep.
Literally anything is possible. It was such a tremendously shocking moment. And then they continued that trend. Everything is possible. And then the absolute least hype character, the one that has the least reason for you to feel like you want to invest in this, came out last, which is how it should be.
Part of me wonders if the negativity surrounding this announcement is going to negatively impact Fighter Pass 2. Part of me is like, no. That I think people are like so underwhelmed by this that they're more inclined to roll the dice again and say, what's the next 6 gonna get me? It's like a gotcha game. It's like, oh man, I just pulled another glider in Mario Kart Tour. I gotta get a character that I want.
Yeah, well, you thought that you couldn't get duplicates in the Fighter's Pass. Apparently you can. This is like our 4th blue-haired anime sword fighter.
Yeah, this is Marth 4.
Yeah, Marth 4.0.
I do want to touch base on the Amiibo portion of these two, because obviously we have now officially passed the point of there's no Amiibo whatsoever on the horizon that have been officially announced for release by Nintendo. Based on everything I've read in the past, I mean, it still seems like they're going to be gung-ho about releasing Amiibo for the next, all 11 DLC fighters. But we know nothing at the moment. Part of me feels like it's going to be all the way to potentially E3 or the next Direct before we know anything. But part of me wonders, just the way they introduced this character, are we going to see a male and female version of these the same way we saw with Corrin?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They obviously have the precedent because the last time that this happened with Fire Emblem, they did release the male and the female version.
Because on the
So
fighter
I don't
pass, on
know.
the advertisement, they have both the male and the female in the same character slot.
Yeah,
Like
they
for the,
almost
like
gave
the little
them
picture.
more equal notoriety in the reveal trailer too. So I don't know. I would hope that they would.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I like the female one much better.
So do I, as I did with Corrin also.
I just like the design more, for sure. I think it's going to look less...
Like
I'm looking
Marth?
up here. It's going to look less like every other one that I have.
I know.
Like, oh, here's a dude in armor with a sword. I mean, she's got like these stockings on that have this awesome design. I just like everything about it. The design. I should
Except
say.
that it's
Except it's
yeah.
her. I like everything about it except for the character.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it goes without saying that we're not thrilled about the choice. However...
Related to that, though, before we get off of that,
Yeah.
is Mr. Sakurai did tweet about the ending of the base characters as Amiibo, and
Yeah.
Push Dustin, formerly of Source Gaming, did translate it, and he said it looks like all the base fighters from the Smash Bros. Ultimate are now Amiibo. There were a lot of veterans that were in the previous installments, so they took some time. Because sculpting takes time, it was a while before all of them could be released. And he thanks everybody who was involved in making the Amiibo. So no mention of any Amiibo yet to come, but an acknowledgement of the fact that all of the base characters are completed, and also reminding us that these things just don't magically appear. You don't just choose to have a product and there it is. It takes time to develop these and then also to manufacture them. So I think what we can take away from this is if we are going to see any more Amiibo related to Smash Brothers, it's going to be a while.
Yeah, I think so too. Part of me feels like it's going to be E3. I have a bad feeling there's going to be a Nintendo Direct coming in the next... I feel like it's either going to be in the next 30 days or there's not going to be a dedicated Direct until E3. Nintendo has been going on this limited Direct-ish type thing per game. And we have Animal Crossing coming up in March, and there's still many things we don't know about the game. And I feel like Nintendo's going to be spending time welcoming people to the island officially in the form of a Direct. But is that going to be a part of a bigger Direct, or is that going to be something else? And there's all these other rumors floating around right now, too, from very credible sources. One being another 2D Metroid's on the way that might be a direct sequel to Metroid Fusion, which if that happens, oh my god, I'm going to go insane. And two, I think more exciting for me, is a direct Paper Mario sequel, like a traditional Paper Mario, not Sticker Star, not Color Splash, like a direct Paper Mario game could be in the future too. And a lot of these leaks are just coming out now, and I feel like it's a little too early for E3 leaks. So part of me feels like this could be coming sooner than we think. So I'm hoping in the next 30 days. Nintendo has had a major video now every Thursday, like this entire month of January. I think I'm correct on that. Am I right?
2, right? Just the Pokemon one and
So
Smash
yeah,
one?
so I guess we had Pokemon on Thursday, then we had the next Thursday we had the Smash one. Who knows, we might get Animal Crossing or a Nintendo Direct coming up on Thursday of this week.
I wasn't stopping there because I wasn't sure of your correctness. I wasn't sure of the dayedness because I'm on a different day than you.
Ah, gotcha.
So I was trying to do some conversions. For those of you guys who are not aware, I'm in Taiwan, so I'm a day ahead of everyone stateside.
Oh yeah, happy Monday.
Thank you. Yeah, it's Monday morning for me.
It's just, I guess to close out my thoughts on, how do you pronounce this name again? Byleth?
Byleth, yeah.
I want to say Blythe.
Who I have never heard of before this Direct. I just want to point that out.
Okay. So I played about 20 minutes of Three Houses. It's not my cup of tea. I played, I think the most, there was Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadow of Valentia. Something like that. I think that's how you say it. I played that for about 5 or 6 hours, and I'm like, I am bored to death.
Yeah.
again, if you like the series and the story, more power to you. It's just not my cup of tea. And apparently, judging by the reactions on not only YouTube with the negative, like thumbs up, thumb down ratio, and one other thing too, which I think is kind of interesting too. There are people that go to the Nintendo New York events and videotape the crowd reactions to every major Nintendo announcement. And this one was pretty bad. There was no hype.
I watched the comp. I watched a comp where it was everyone from Joker all the way through Byleth.
Yeah.
And yeah, the last one, there was cheering. Like, I don't want to misrepresent it, but there's notably less enthusiasm for Byleth, as I think Nintendo expected. Even in the trailer themselves, they reference how, oh great, another sword fighter, before they introduce the unique play mechanics that Byleth has that differentiates her from the other Fire Emblem characters.
Which is cool.
Which is cool.
I think it's neat.
But it's them acknowledging the fact that nobody is excited about another Fire Emblem character, except for Mr. Sakurai, who is just a helpless Fire Emblem fan. He loves it. I am weak for Zelda the way that he is weak for Fire Emblem. I would have 10 more Zelda characters in Smash if I were the developer. It is his prerogative to put in his game what he wants to put in, and I will be grateful for every little morsel. So there's that.
And people are going to play it too. I mean,
people are going to play
the same people complaining are going to have fun with this, I'm sure. So again, if for any reason you're listening to this and you're one of the people who like attacking people on Twitter, just cut that out. There's no point. It's a game. There's so many characters that got announced that I lost my mind at. I remember I rented an office in LA for E3 when my team came down to essentially cover the Direct and everything Nintendo at E3 last year. And we rented an office. It was kind of in a nice office complex, a lot of very nice, respectable companies working out of this place. And we were watching the Direct live and divvying out articles, and we were working. And then Banjo got announced, and I lost my mind. I made a fool of myself in front of my team. I think I scared some of the nicer companies working there. And I lost my mind. And like I said, I am grateful that I had the opportunity to lose my mind over a character in Smash. And I'm sure there are Fire Emblem Three Houses fans who are obsessed with this character who are just as happy. So good for you guys. You got to win. It wasn't for me. I'm not thrilled, but I'm super happy that you are.